Next. Trouble in Eden.
What an astounding place.
It is the village of Eden the Cardinal Mother told you about. The place where natives and priests live together. I must admit that I'm curious to see it.
All that's left to do is to find Father Justinius.
So some Theleme priests and the natives live together here. Coexistence is real. Oh, they're building a church.
Welcome to Eden, the lighthouse of faith, harmony, and civilization in these wild lands.
Thank you. De Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Father Justinius. Delighted. And what may I do for you?
The Mother Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
That's excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia. She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and were also guarding them. You should find her a bit further in the village, with her colleagues.
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Vedlug most likely had a hand in this. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship by stealing the holy word from us.
How could they have learned of the tablet's existence?
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of the natives living in the village innocently mentioned them. They are so naive. Either way, I am certain that the heretics are involved in this matter.
Alright.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
I wonder what really happened when the missionaries came to settle here.
It all seems a bit too convenient. If we find out some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things. The theft of the relic is probably not a coincidence.
Let's bring Shourai in. Anyway, we're dealing with natives. So much loot.
Hello. I am Lair, the village leader. Well, I was the leader of this
I want to play a game.
Hello. De Sardet. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
There are Onolmenawi among the Logead Blau. I did not know that. What do you want from me?
I'm gonna lie, he has that mask from the Saw movies. Similar looking mask.
I've heard a lot of things about this village of Eden, but I'd like to hear your version.
I'm not sure I have the answers to all of your questions, but I'll try.
Tell me about the arrival of the people of Theleme, and how you received them.
The priests were roaming around the village. They were saying that it was the place where their saint had lived. They were asking questions, talking about the Lloyd and all these things. One morning they were building houses next to ours. And we had new neighbors.
From out of nowhere. Just random houses sprung up out of nowhere.
The priests told me that they had managed to convert you. How did that happen?
As long as we refused to listen to them, they were violent.
Oh.
And they destroyed some of our sanctuaries. So we let them talk. And now that they think that we love their god, they leave us alone. Some of the things they say are beautiful, and their magic is impressive. But we do not forget our spirits.
One of the theologians told me that you had helped them in their research.
They wanted to find tracks of the old sage, of the one they call Saint Matheus, and they were rummaging through everything. Our Donegad did not want to tell them anything, because the old sage is sacred here. But since they violently interrogated everyone, I thought it wise to guide them to the place where the stones were.
You felt threatened.
What happened to your warriors? Why did they have to leave the village?
They did not accept the presence of the priests and their questions. They tried to retake the village. They even asked Deirdre, the chief of Vedlug, for her help. So, the priests called the Soul Lasser, the Burning Suns, and they killed many of them. We asked for peace, and the others left us. They wanted to join Vedlug. Perhaps they have done so.
Aren't you angry after all that happened?
No. I mourn those who died, of course, and the Vorstyrent. But this village may be our opportunity.
Your opportunity for what?
For the Renaigse to understand who we are. Not savages, nor monsters, but men, perhaps wiser than they are.
I have to go.
Like so many others.
That was uncalled for. What the heck? Basically, their people didn't want to be converted. So some of them left. The others just nodding their heads so the theologians stopped bothering them. That sucks. Alright, let's go talk to... Was it Sister Eugenia and Brother Virgil?
I am busy. If you have questions, go see Sister Eugenia. She's our supervisor.
Okay.
Hello. The Mother Cardinal asked me to help you find the tablets that were stolen. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on Saint Matheus is conducted.
I imagine someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack. But some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, It was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that
Uh-oh.
night.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Matheus later. But first, we wanted to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to, but I couldn't find any traces of forced entry.
Probably because the one guarding it stole it.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Alas, I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us, or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
Well, thank you for these pieces of information.
I am the one who should be thanking you. Especially if you managed to retrieve the tablets for us.
The Mother Cardinal told me that this village had been developed on the basis of St. Lucius's writings. Are you one of the theologians who helped in its creation?
Yes. I was sent here to confirm that this place is indeed the one described in the writings, and then I stayed.
Were there any confrontations with the natives?
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked us. The Ordo Luminous actually had to intervene. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack again with the support of Vedlug, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village, finally accepted our presence, things calmed down.
Like, they forced their way into the homes of the natives and then act like the victims because they were being attacked by the natives. That doesn't make sense.
What was the reaction of the natives when you arrived here?
Most of them were not in favor of us living amongst them. They were afraid we might chase them out of their own village. And there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for traces of Saint Matheus. I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places of superstition.
Thank you. This information will certainly prove to be useful. Thank you. I will let you work.
Alright, I got some questions for you, Virgil.
Greetings, de Sardet. I am handling the investigation into the theft of the tablets. Sister Eugenia told me to talk to you.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
I thought you were busy.
Have you been in Eden for a long time?
2 months, approximately. Back then, there were still some pagan natives in the village. I joined Sister Eugenia's team with some of my colleagues, so we could give them a fresh outlook on things. We arrived straight from Theleme, hoping to study some new texts. But once we were here,
His hand was
I
straight
understood
through
that
his
my real
helmet.
mission was with the islanders. We must bring the light to this island.
You talked about a mission with the natives. What did you mean by that?
I may be under the command of Sister Eugenia here, but my superior is Bishop Domitius.
It's the top.
Our mission is to banish pagan cults and convert the entire population to the light. The island belongs to Saint Matheus, and therefore to Theleme, since the God of Light offered it to our founder.
If your superior's Domitius, you are a member of the Ordo Luminis.
There he is
I
again.
did not expect to find one of its members side by side with the missionaries. They usually do not get along.
The Order goes everywhere the light needs to be revealed.
You have a very unique way of seeing things. I doubt everyone accepts it. How are your relations with the natives?
When I arrived, we were still trying to obtain information from them about Saint Matheus, but they were very reluctant to give us any answers. We were also trying to educate them. Our attempts eventually made some of the inhabitants of the village react badly. Most stubborn against our teachings, the warriors, and the marked. The ones the natives call the Onomanawi. They eventually left, and it has proved nothing but a blessing for us. I would like to go back to work now, if you don't mind.
Of course.
I'm surprised Sierra hasn't said anything. What the heck? Shouldn't she be like at least a bit pissed off?
According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guarding the tablets on the night of the theft. Is that right?
Indeed.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Not really. What I can tell you for sure is it is not one of us.
Well, Sister Eugenia did tell me that the tablets were priceless.
Of course. But our motivation is not the lure of profit. All that matters to us is their value as proof, not the money.
He zoomed in on his helmet now.
What can you tell me about that night? Did you hear or see anything?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet, and then the morning after, we saw they were gone.
Someone had to enter the shack to steal the tablets. How did that happen?
I have no idea. The door was closed in the morning, and the lock was intact.
One of the guards had the key. Come on.
Do you think the culprit could be a native?
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here, and the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our work.
Well, thank you. I will investigate where the theft took place.
As you wish. But you won't find anything there. And why does it matter, anyway? There were witnesses to the discovery of these tablets. We have all the proof we need. And that's all that matters.
What do you mean?
Now we can prove Saint Matheus lived here. Our actions on this island are justified. To keep rummaging the way Sister Eugenia does will only create more tensions with the natives.
I was not expecting a theologian to say such things. I will leave you to your work. Goodbye.
He's using Saint Matheus to justify all his actions. Even putting his hand through his hat.
There is only one entrance and the door shows no evidence of a break-in.
This priest, Virgil,
Nope.
said that the night was calm. So calm that he probably fell asleep. So, the thieves only had to take the key from him.
It's very likely that that's what happened, but someone must have informed them. It can't be a coincidence that they decided to steal it during the watch of the only neglectful guard.
You think that the one who told them is in this village?
We know that this theft could be an act of vengeance by the natives who were forced to leave here. They must still have allies in the village, family or friends. We should go talk to the chief of the natives. He will certainly know who is close to the exiles, and enough about the researchers to inform them.
It's about time she said something. It's about to switch her out for somebody else. This concerns your people, Shourai. Was it talk to the chief?
You have returned on Almanawi. Do you need something else?
Oh, nothing. What?
I have to go.
Okay. Weird. Okay. Guess we'll go to that yellow mark.
Father,
I'm glad to see you, my child. What can I do for you?
tell me about how you created this village.
We did not create it from the ground up. It was built around an existing native village. The islanders called it Vigsenegad, which translates to the Village of the Old Sage. We saw it as a sign. The natives had probably chosen this name in memory of Saint Matheus, and everything here fit the description of Saint Lucius. The discovery of the tablets proved us right. So, we decided to rebuild our Eden here, in the spirit of peace and harmony which is described in the scriptures.
Peace and harmony, huh? By forcing your religion down the natives' throats. Kinda peace and harmony.
Why share this village with the natives?
To replicate and resume the work of our founder, of course. If he came here and managed to convert the natives, then it is our duty to do the same thing. By living side by side with them, it is much easier for us to pass on our teachings.
How well do you get along with the natives who live here?
Very well, of course. Especially since those who opposed our presence left.
Left? To go where?
Oh, to other villages, I imagine. Does it even matter? Those who stayed are on the path of enlightenment. Some of their legends must have been about Saint Matheus. That helped to convince them.
He totally disregarded the fact that they did something to make those natives go away from the village.
And how well have neighboring villages welcomed you?
With some reluctance, to be perfectly honest. So, we sent them missionaries. There are still frequent conflicts with the village of Vedlug, a highly violent village of heretics. But the other villages, the more peaceful ones, are slowly starting to listen to the sacred word.
There are no Onol Manawi and no warriors here either. Did they all leave?
Perfect harmony takes time, my child. I have no doubt that one day we will manage to convince your kind to convert. But, in the meantime, we must settle for the miracle of great coexistence that this place already represents. Nobody thought we could live side by side with your people. And yet...
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
I knew that the story would be more complex than we'd been told.
The priests separated this village into two parts. The exiles must be broken-hearted, having left their clan behind.
Had they been wiser and accepted their new neighbors, they'd never have been forced to leave.
Either way, the resentment here is strong enough for a theft to occur.
True enough. Let's go speak to Lur.
You have returned, Onol Manawi. Do you need something else?
I think I know who stole the tablets.
Really?
I believe those who were exiled from your village seek vengeance because the missionaries forced them to leave. They must have taken the tablets with the help of someone else who stayed here.
You may be right, but you may also be wrong.
To summon the Inquisition. Wow. For the Emperor.
You do well to tell me what you know. Once the priests have reached the same conclusions as I have,
Flip that
how do you
coin.
think they will interrogate
Let's
you?
go.
You're probably right.
Nice.
The Inquisitors would come back, and my people would suffer. I do not want to break the peace that I did all I could to make. I think the name of the woman you are looking for is Vindwal. She helps the priests who seek the old sage.
If she's helping the priests, why would she betray them now?
Her son is one of the warriors who had to leave the village. He is filled with anger and fury. If you go talk to her, please, do not hurt her. She is but a mother who acted according to her son's wishes.
I have no intention of hurting her. But things may not be so simple when it comes to her son. I have to go.
Like so many other.
Seriously, that comment. Like so many others.
Greetings. Are you Vindwal?
Bertie Tumad. Yes, that is me. What do you want?
What can you tell me about Lair, your former leader?
He is a man of peace. Some people dislike him, not me. Everything he did to save the village. But I think the mind shakers made him forget what we are. He almost speaks like them now.
Listen, I know you helped the exiles to steal the tablets of St. Matheus.
No, this is not true. It wasn't me.
There's no point in denying it. I know you did it for your son who had to leave the village.
If you know that, then you know that I don't have the tablets. So what do you want from me?
The only means of alleviating the situation with Theleme is to give the priests their tablets back. So, if you don't want your son to suffer their wrath, it would be best if I could retrieve them discreetly.
Bran and the rest of the exiles are hiding in the woods, beyond the stone circle.
Well, that was
if you
easy.
want to take the tablets away from them without being seen, do not take the path on the left. It is riddled with traps. And please, do not hurt my son.
Okay. Let's go get those tablets. Path on the left. So we go right.
Here's the place that Vindwal indicated. The exiles must be near.
These people have been banished already. There's no need to add death to their list of punishments. Let's try not to fight them.
Don't worry, we'll be discreet.
Remember that we were told the area on the left was a trap. It would be smarter to take the other path.
Where are they at? Oh, they're there. Passing through. Don't mind me. Oops. Nobody defending the tablets? The priceless tablets? Okay.
There, we found them. Now all that's left to do is to return to Eden.
Let me guess, we're gonna get ambushed. No? No ambush? Okay. They just chilling over there? Alright. We're out. Let's go. Hey, what is she doing here?
What are you doing here?
I was worried for my son. I wanted to make sure that everything was fine.
I think so. I managed to retrieve the tablets discreetly.
I am glad to hear that you managed to retrieve them. I will go talk to my son now.
And good luck,
He
lady.
needs to stop seeking revenge and find a new clan.
That would indeed be wiser. Vengeance has no positive repercussions.
Plus 1 rep.
I retrieved your relics.
Thank you. Thank you immensely. Thanks to them, we will be able to continue our research on St. Matheus.
I am curious to know who is responsible for this theft. The culprit must be brought to justice.
I do not want to point the finger at anyone. You have your relics back, and that's the only thing that matters.
Your indulgence honors you. But how can we be certain that these thieves will not strike again if they are not punished?
A good start would be to keep a better watch on the priceless treasures that you
Right?
find.
Had you respected this village, you would not have
Her
to
sword's
look
going
for a
through her
culprit.
chest right now.
You
What the
settled
heck?
here without even asking those who lived here for their opinion on the
She's
matter.
stabbing herself.
Instead of talking about harmony, start taking
What are you
action to
doing?
really make it happen.
But that is precisely what we desire more than anything. We may have been a bit clumsy in the beginning, but we'll make sure to improve things in the future. You really were a great help. I would be most grateful if you agreed to continue helping us.
I might come back at some point, but alas, I'm very busy.
Naturally. Either way, we are certainly capable of continuing our research without you.
Actually, I must go back to my work. Our next expedition must depart as soon as possible.
Your next expedition?
Our brave researchers must continue to follow the tracks of our founder on this island. In the meantime,
Ooh,
here,
Shourai.
take this as a token of gratitude.
She's
for the help
hardcore,
you gave
man.
us.
Thank you. I hope your expedition will be a success.
She's just stabbing herself and not even feeling anything. Oh, what happened here?
Oh, there you are, Your Excellency. The Enlightened has heard my prayers.
What's going on? Where are the others?
After deciphering the content of the tablets, they went north to continue their research in some swamps. But they must have encountered problems. Brother Fidelis came back here, and he was in a dreadful state. He most likely came to seek help, but he fainted. It's impossible for us to know what happened to them.
I'm not a doctor, but I may be able to examine him.
Oh, please do. Any help would be appreciated. We've done our best, but our magic has proved inefficient. And the healer we sent for will certainly arrive too late from San Matheus.
Oh, this dude's bleeding out.
This man is burning up with fever, and he bears several bite marks and traces of blows.
The blows did not put him in this state. He looks like a victim of poisoning. With the right antidote, I think we could get him back on his feet.
Have you tried giving him any anti-poison?
Of course, but to no avail. And what if it were a hex cast by the heretics?
No matter what happens, you always suspect them.
Why, of course. These savages are always to blame. The man was in the swamp.
Where are you,
There are
Sierra?
some rare animals there, and their venom is terrible.
It's a weird
A
angle.
healer from the area will know the antidote.
We could ask Lair. He will direct us to someone who understands remedies.
Sierra speaking from the heavens.
Onol Manawi, you've come back to see old Lair. I heard that you managed to retrieve the tablets.
Did Vindwal tell you?
Yes, and I feel more at peace, knowing that our brothers are alive, and that they will be able to join another clan. And you proved me right. Peace with the Renaigse is possible.
More rep. Nice.
I need your advice. You may already know that one of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition.
I heard about it.
He has all the symptoms of a poisoning, but the anti-poisons we gave him had no effect. He must have been bitten by a creature of the swamp, and we're looking for a healer who would know of a suitable antidote.
So, you came to see me. Interesting. Our neighbors did not think for one moment that we could be helpful. Alas, our Donegat is one of the exiles. But Vindwal knows plants well. She will know.
Oh,
Thank
nice.
you. I will go see her. I hope she agrees to help us.
I think she will, because we didn't kill her son.
I have to go.
Like so many
Oh, come on. What's with that comment, dude? Like so many others. Let's, go talk to Vinwall about, some herbs. She's probably in a good mood. Her son's still alive.
Here you are again. What do you want?
I have come to ask for your help. Lair told me you know about remedies.
I do know a few of them. I have learned about plants. I used to want to become a Donegad.
One of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition. Apparently he was bitten by a creature of the swamp.
And now he has the Llewellyn fever. We have a good knowledge about this affliction. He will die if he does not receive proper treatment.
Do you know which antidote should be given to him?
Yes. These priests are idiots. They could have asked for our help, but they treat us like children.
Savage Vinwall.
You are different. And you have allowed my son to join a new clan.
Yeah,
So,
see? I knew
I
they
will give you
remember.
the potion to cure the priest. Wait a moment.
Cool.
Make him drink this remedy and he'll get better.
Thank you, Vindwal.
It's all connected. That's really cool. Save her son. She saves a priest. And if we had killed her son, this dude won't be alive anymore.
Where am I?
You are in Eden. You're safe.
Was I unconscious for a long time? The other members of the expedition, they are in danger. The swamp is so hostile. We weren't prepared for it. Some of our people have disappeared.
What caused these wounds?
A nightmarish creature. The swamp is full of them.
Sierra is still
colleague and I
stabbing
had
herself.
left to fetch some help when we were attacked. I managed to run away, but I don't know what happened to him. As for those who were at the camp, you must go help them.
Show me the location of your colleagues on the map. I will join them.
There. Please, hurry.
Thank you. You should rest now. I do not remember there being a path in this place the last time we came.
You're perfectly right, my child. This passage must have been cleared by the expedition. We should follow it.
That's one dead expedition person. Must have been a big monster that made the path.
Look where your pride got us. Will we all have to die in the name of your folly?
All I did was bring you to the place suggested by the tablets. I had no way of knowing.
Really? But I did warn you. You just wanted to have it your way. Someone so foolish and thoughtless should not be supervising an expedition.
Is that Virgil?
How dare you?
It looks like
dare
we're
you,
right on time.
Virgil.
If we do not intervene, they are sure to gut each other.
How can you call yourself a man of faith when you turn your back to the word of our founder?
Me? At least I don't allow myself to believe any heresy to feed my own pride.
No, you'd rather be more stubborn and obtuse
Did
than
they start
a mule.
fighting each other if I don't move up?
Regret your words.
Uh-oh. You suddenly got foggy all of a sudden.
Look where your pride got us.
Hey, what's happening here? I could hear you from miles away.
Your Excellency, I'm so happy to see you. You arrive right on time to settle this matter.
How did you manage to find us in the middle of this swamp?
Brother Fidelis managed to reach Eden. He's the one who told us where your camp was.
But he didn't leave alone. What happened to Father Orbricus, who was accompanying him?
Uh-oh.
He must be dead like our other companions. This is all your
Is
fault.
that the guy we passed by?
This is yet more proof
And
that you are
looted?
not fit to lead such a team. I should be the one in charge.
Maybe you should calm down and explain to me what's happening here.
This expedition was undertaken with no concern for common sense. We are not equipped to explore this type of place. Our people are disappearing, and all we have found are some falsified writings.
Brother Virgil is terrified, which probably explains why he is being so disingenuous. We have made incredible discoveries, and we could find more.
You are beyond redemption. I won't waste another second talking to you. If you want to talk to me, Your Excellency, it will have to be without her.
How charming.
Jeez. These guys are pissed at each other. Let's go talk to let's go talk to the pissed off guy first.
Brother Virgil,
What do you want?
can you explain to me what caused such a quarrel?
The reason for it is very simple. It is Eugenia's folly. This woman should never have been the supervisor of our team.
I'm asking you
The
why.
discoveries made in Eden were sufficient, but no. She didn't want to stop the research. She organized this expedition in a hurry, without taking elementary precautions, and now she's accepting as facts the delirious writings we discovered on these tablets, without doubting them for even 1 second.
What do you mean?
We found some new tablets, allegedly written by Saint Matheus.
Allegedly.
But their content is so absurd that they were obviously forged. I am certain that the natives must have found these stones before us and modified their content.
How would they have done that? The natives cannot write.
They must have been helped by an unscrupulous settler. How would I know?
Oh, come on, dude. You don't sound convincing if you say you don't know.
Brother Fidelis told me that some of your colleagues went missing. Do you know anything about this?
They did not go missing. They were killed. It was the wild beasts, the diseases, and let's not forget the savages. We can feel their presence, roaming around the camp at night. I am certain that they are responsible for the death of our colleagues.
That's strange. There aren't many villages around here.
There aren't any. There are a few hermits, but they are not fighters. And they have better things to do than roam around their camp at night.
We have been in this region before, and the only native we met was a little insane but would have been incapable of killing several priests.
Those savages
A little
may very
insane.
well have been following us
Just
since
a,
our
just a
departure.
tad bit.
We will not be safe on this island until it is entirely converted.
I see. So, you haven't tried to find your colleagues?
So we can die as well. I am not as crazy as Sister Eugenia.
I understand your concern, given what happened to your colleagues, but I must also talk to Sister Eugenia.
Do as you like, but beware. That woman has plunged into madness.
Your Excellency, I hope you will forgive us for that scene. My relations with Virgil have always been difficult, but ever since we arrived here, it has been unbearable. I'm afraid we may need an arbiter.
Before anything else, I need to know what led to this situation between you.
What would you like to know?
Everything from the start.
For what reason were you quarreling?
The expedition itself, I'm afraid. Virgil was always against it, especially under my supervision. For him, our discoveries in Eden were sufficient. They confirmed what he wanted. The rest did not matter. According to him, we should never have continued. And when we found new tablets, it became even worse.
Were they also written by Saint Matheus?
Without a doubt. The handwriting is the same. There are also some patterns, some islander symbols. It's fascinating. But what really angers Virgil is the content we managed to decipher. Our founder explains that he learned a lot from the islanders. Something our brother cannot accept. He now persists in saying that these tablets are fake, forged by the natives themselves.
It's like Virgil's one of those fanatics.
Brother Fidelis told me that several members of the expedition have disappeared.
Yes, that's why he left along with Father Orbricus to fetch some help. 3 more of our colleagues are missing. And I'm not even talking about the ones who fell ill. I must admit that I underestimated the hardships we would encounter. I made a mistake. I should have prepared this expedition more thoroughly. But Virgil's being disingenuous does not help.
And no one has searched for those who are missing.
I wanted us to search for them, but someone later convinced me that it presented too much of a risk. Along with lack of preparation, our constantly decreasing number, and creatures swarming the area.
And by someone, I suppose you mean Brother Virgil.
Indeed.
I also heard Brother Virgil, and I must admit that, at this stage, it's difficult for me to pick sides.
Yeah, they're
but
both
it's not what
wrong.
matters most. Our priority should be finding those who are missing.
Are you sure that you can manage? There are so few of you.
Don't worry about it. We're used to this type of thing.
I have
In
ammo.
that case, you should start searching at the excavation site. The path leading to it is south of here. You will have no trouble finding it. We left our tools there.
Thank you.
As long as I have ammo, we are good to go. I'm gonna turn right after we go out here. Or not. Looks like we're going left. Here's the first excavation site. With giant bones.
This man's skull is sunken, but he doesn't look like he was in a fight. Could he have fallen?
That is unlikely. Look, my child. The wound is located at the back of the skull.
He was murdered.
I regret to say that in my opinion, he was struck from behind. With a mace, most likely.
The dude was murdered.
This man's skull is sunken, but he doesn't look like he was in a fight.
Yeah.
Could he have fallen?
That is unlikely. Look, my child. The wound is located at the back of the skull. I regret to say that in my opinion, he was struck from behind. With a mace, most likely.
This poor soul was almost entirely devoured. He must have been killed by swamp animals. Even so, this wound looks different from the others. It looks like a knife wound.
You're right. He was stabbed before being fed to the animals. But anyone could have used such a blade.
It's like there's a pattern of everyone getting murdered.
These fang marks are impressive. The poor man didn't have a chance. He must have been attacked by a large reptile. Most likely a Lowolan. But what was he doing alone so far from camp? It seems obvious now that these disappearances were orchestrated.
The deaths of these people were a deception. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to do such a thing. They kill each other and accuse my people. This virgin, he wants to push aside this woman at all cost. He must be the culprit.
Indeed. I think that we should go find this brother and ask for an explanation.
Is there a way back to camp from here? It seems like it. Or not. Oh, yeah, here we go. Virgil, you have some explaining to do.
Brother Virgil.
Your Excellency! Weren't you supposed to be looking for our colleagues?
Yeah, I already found them. And they were all dead.
I regret to say that they are indeed all dead.
I knew it. What a waste. Eugenia and her recklessness are to blame for this.
I'm afraid someone else is responsible for this. These deaths are not accidental, and yet they were disguised as such.
The savages! Their thirst for blood is unquenchable. I knew we should never have come without an escort.
Watch your tongue, priest. Our people have no need to hide when they protect their land. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to disguise a death.
Who else could it be?
Someone who desperately wanted this expedition to fail. Does that remind you of anyone?
Fine. You unmasked me. But know that my cause is
What the heck?
righteous. The Ordo Luminous sent me to keep an eye on this expedition.
He admitted
to
it so
ensure that the
fast.
discoveries we made would not jeopardize our nation or our presence on this island. But the inscriptions on the tablets are a heresy. A dangerous manipulation. Can you imagine what would happen if it was said that our founder listened to the teachings of the natives? But even then, foolish Eugenia accepted these discoveries as truth, without any hesitation,
And-
without realizing that our entire nation could suffer because of it. So yes, I wanted to scare her.
So you
I
murdered
understand that you
innocent
might
people?
want to protect your nation, but to go as far as
Right?
assassinating several of your
That's
colleagues.
nonsense.
Come now. What would you do if someone were threatening the congregation? You cannot make me believe that you would not be willing to kill. You may have already done so. But
Not-
since you want to avoid using
not his own
violence,
people.
help me convince Eugenia to go back to Eden. My colleagues and I know how to sort through these discoveries. And you will be rewarded, of course.
This Renaigse tried to blame my people for these crimes. The priests would have wanted to punish them, and innocent people would have died. He must answer for his treachery.
It is undeniable that these discoveries could cause a great upset in Theleme. But he has no right to decide what should be revealed or not. On this island, Cornelia should be the one to decide.
True
Be
enough.
careful with your accusations, though. Eugenia and her colleagues are on edge. We wouldn't want them to start killing each other.
Except to go and take his side, man. I want you guys to kill each other, actually.
It seems to me that all members of this expedition are concerned.
So I can kill
They should
Virgil.
decide on what to do next.
Ah, screw you, Petrus. I'll listen to you sometimes, but not all the times.
Everybody listen. Alas, I must inform you that
Oh.
I have found the dead bodies of your missing colleagues.
Fight music.
How awful. What happened to them?
Someone wanted us to believe that they were killed by some swamp animals.
That
But it
means
was
I'm
all
gonna fight
staged.
Virgil.
Your colleagues were murdered, and their bodies abandoned to the creatures.
What? But why do such a thing? And who murdered them?
Brother Virgil confessed to his crimes in front of me.
Monster! You will pay for these crimes. These people you killed were our brothers, our friends.
You stupid goose.
Just the way I
You really
want
believe
it.
that I will let you pass judgment on me?
My
You
gun will
shouldn't
do
have been
that.
so quick to accept these lies that could destroy our nation. And want to reveal them for all to hear. You are solely responsible for these deaths.
Nah.
How dare you present yourself as the protector of our nation? Murderer!
That reverse psychology nonsense.
May the Enlightened protect me in this battle!
Easy. And the loot. Oh, I see I still have loot. Oh, that's unfortunate. Meanwhile, she's sweeping up rocks for some reason. What is the point of this? You'll never be done with that work, man.
I'm sorry, sister. Brother Virgil fled during the battle.
The coward. And naturally, his accomplices fled along with him. What a waste. So many people died.
Perhaps I shouldn't have revealed his crimes in front of everyone. But I thought it was the best way of ensuring he would be judged.
Considering how high tensions have been these last few days, a fight was inevitable, alas. But you did what you thought was fair. Here, take this. As a token of gratitude for shedding light on these dismal events. Alas, we will have to go
suspicious
back to Eden
again.
as well. There are too few of us to continue the research.
Were you hoping to discover more?
Of course. This place was but a single step in St. Matheus's journey. The last tablets speak of a journey northbound, further up in the swamp. But even if Virgil is no longer a threat, we are not sufficiently well equipped to go there.
We could go there for you if you wish. You just have to tell us where to look.
That would be marvelous. Of course, you would have to start from the excavation site where he wrote this. I think I noticed a path going north when I was there, actually. Look for any traces of life. Perhaps you will be lucky enough to find more of his writings. That would be fantastic.
Don't worry. I will conduct this research and come find you here if I uncover anything.
Where are we going? The Origins of Theleme. The Sins of Father Petrus. Well, let's do this first, then we'll find out about his parents. Oh, we gotta go back there. This way, or not the hill.
I've never been that far into the swamp. But if I was to live here, I would look for a drier place.
Ooh, more markings. Oh, yo, what? Hold on. Give me a sec. Zawardo. Let's go.
May the enlightened help us. The enlightened protect me in this battle. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Ora.
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 May the shadow engulf our enemies. May the shadow engulf our enemies. Be careful. The armor is falling apart.
Zawardo.
May the shadow engulf our enemies. May the shadow
What you gonna do? What you gonna
engulf
do?
our enemies. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Zawardo.
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Only 5 gold coins. Really? Use up so much ammo on that dude.
A cavern. Hermits often choose places like this when they want to live away from the world.
You're gonna see somebody here. Oops. Oops. There you go.
This is incredible. People live here in the mighty St. Matheus battle. We have to reach through this place.
Maybe
Ooh, she just got
maybe
Allah can protect me in this battle.
Kusagan? Looks like there's more enemies over there. Wow, fresh water. There's no avoiding this fight.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle.
Get cornered. Yeah, this is a village. There's like different huts dug into the cave walls. It's the way out, okay.
These murals are magnificent. If St. Matheus did come here, this is where he must have settled.
Let's take a closer look at these paintings. We may learn something from them.
So that's him interacting with the locals, the natives.
This mural is very ancient. It depicts an old man dressed as a priest getting his face painted by a masked native.
And then this is him being one with nature.
This mural depicts an old man praying in front of a face in the mountain. He's holding a rosary. Saint Matheus. Praying to Enon Miel Frictimen.
Oh, he left his mark.
Looks like a chaplet made of pewter. It's rather basic, but it was made a long time ago. And it undeniably comes from the continent.
This is incredible. Saint Matheus is often depicted or described as using a similar chaplet. Oh, I feel so lucky to be here, in this cavern where our founder lived.
The dude was alive.
I don't know these glyphs, but these spirals are native symbols. There are some words in our ancient language next to them. The light and the earth are the two faces of a same power. It's impossible to know if this is a translation or another sentence. But this is a message that would seriously displease the Inquisitors.
I cannot believe it. These symbols, they are signs used in the secret writing of the Donegada.
Secret writing. Oh, is this a tablet? Another tablet.
Engraved tablets. They resemble the ones we recovered in Eden. We should take them with us. The researchers would be delighted to study them. There are some native symbols here, and some letters I recognize, as if someone had tried to write in the native language using our alphabet. Men duis dat, enon miel frictimen.
It means, welcome us amongst your people, enon miel frictimen.
This is incredible. Saint Matheus would have known about the spirit of the island and would have prayed to him.
I don't know if you realize the importance of what we've just discovered. Saint Matheus, the founder of Theleme, finished his life worshipping the islanders' god. This is so incredible. Although it will cause a huge upset for our nation, our cult, and our relations with the natives.
True.
I wonder what I should do with these relics.
And give it to
Eugenia
Cornelia.
probably didn't imagine that Saint Matheus lived his life in a way that's so different from what they advocate. As for Virgil, he wasn't wrong. Such a revelation will certainly cause a schism in Theleme.
A
I
huge one.
understand you must be concerned. Great revelations are often followed by a trail of blood. But if what we found was revealed, my people could live in peace with the priests at last.
I already took sides in their quarrel. If I change my mind, I'm afraid that it might be seen as treason. I'll think about it on the way there. Let's go back to the researchers' camp.
Alright. Skill point. Agility 5. Ah, yes. Next point is in level 25. Guess I need to conserve my ammo. I got news for you.
So, did you find anything? Or do you need my help?
We discovered a cave that was inhabited a long time ago by a whole group of people, mostly natives, who had obviously created a sacred site, as the place was guarded by a creature.
And have you found traces of our holy founder? New relics? Perhaps some tablets?
Even better. We found where he lived. We're gonna screw over Theleme.
There were also frescoes on the site, representing Saint Matheus.
Frescoes? Tell me more. This is fascinating.
He was shown having his face painted by a native. On the other, he prayed to a god of the mountain.
You can't be serious. You mean to say that our saint converted to the cult of the islanders?
That is what emerges from our findings, yes. Other objects that I was able to bring back also point in this direction. Look, there are inscriptions. These tablets and also this chaplet.
This chaplet. I cannot believe
I got +1 rep for that?
It is so... Excuse
That's
me.
weird.
I cannot find the words to express how I feel. You must come with me. We must go and present all these discoveries to the Mother Cardinal. You realize our entire dogma will have to change. So far, anyone who wanted to question it would have burned their fingers. Literally, alas.
And you think that this time they'll listen?
We have solid proof. All this evidence. With your support, we will convince her to reveal the truth.
I see. I will do my best to help you.
Oh,
It seems we are arriving right on time. You did well to warn us, Brother Virgil.
Virgil. How did you know?
I'm afraid that Your Excellency's lies weren't very convincing.
We were informed of your discoveries and of the danger they represent. We demand that you hand them over to us immediately, so that they can be destroyed.
How can you even suggest the destruction of relics written by the hand of our founder?
Out of love for our dogma, for our faith, and for our nation.
You're
But
believing
since you
in false
refuse to
faith?
comply with our orders, you leave us no choice.
Death to the heretics!